starting with file number 21-20649, and just tell me what we're doing on each of those files. That way I can keep it in order because there are a lot.
Mr. Sneed was very gracious enough to lay it all out for me, Judge, so I'll be glad to do it.
All right,
Tell me when the court's ready.
I'm ready.
So with respect to 21-20649 FH, that case will be dismissed upon the sentencing without prejudice. With respect to 21-20464 FH, Mr.
Hold on
Almond
a
will be.
second. Hold on. 289. Okay, hold on. Gotta get back up page. All right, I'm sorry. Okay, so, all right, 6-4, got it. Go ahead.
Mr. Almond will be pleading guilty as charged to count 2 domestic violence. And that will be deferred under the 7694A statute. Count 1 will be dismissed at sentencing. As to file number 21-20827 FH, Mr. Almond will be pleading guilty to count 1, lying to a peace officer of 4-year or more crime. I believe that's a 2-year high misdemeanor.
Wait a second, you kind of broke up a little bit. So he's gonna be pleading guilty to count 1, which is
Yes.
a 2-year high court misdemeanor.
I think it is. Pretty sure that's a 2-year.
Hold on, let me look, just to make sure. Yeah, yes, well, it doesn't say it's a high court misdemeanor, it just says it's a 2-year.
Okay, well, it's 2-year max is what
Yeah.
I believe. Okay. On 21-20828 FH, Mr. Almond will be.
22, that's 22-20828.
Oh, the Mr. Sneed's not as efficient as I thought.
Mr. Sneed, you need to be more, careful.
20828 FH file, Judge. Mr.
Yes.
Almond will be pleading guilty to the count 1 absconding.
All right, now that has the potential for consecutive sentencing. What is the position on that?
We would not ask for that, Judge.
Okay, I got it.
And then on the 829 FH file, that will be dismissed without prejudice at sentencing as well. And
Okay.
if necessary, Mr. Almond, if there's any co-defendants, would agree to testify truthfully against them,
Okay.
or would agree to testify truthfully if called to testify. They shouldn't say against them.
All right, Mr. Almond, want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right, and I forgot to ask, Mr. Sneed, was that a correct recitation of the plea?
It was, Judge. Thank you.
All right, so Mr. Almond, you have heard the statement of your attorney and the prosecuting attorney on file number 21-20464 FH. Is it your intention to plead guilty to count 2 domestic violence, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 93 days in jail and or a $500 fine, and with the understanding it would be deferred under 7649 statute, which means does not mean if he successfully completes probation, it would be dismissed, correct?
Correct.
All right. Sorry, we're getting used to doing the misdemeanors up here still. All right. Okay. Oh, look, I even had your plea agreement already in my file. Thanks, Mr. Sneed. All right, then on file number 22 or 21-20649 FH, Mr. Almond, is it, no, that would be Nolley Cross. So on file number 22-20649 20827 FH. 7. Is it your intention, Mr. Almond, to plead guilty to count 1, lying to a peace officer on a 4-year or more crime investigation, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 2 years in prison and or a $5,000 fine? So is it your intention to plead guilty on that count?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then on file number 22-20828FH, Mr. Almond, is it your intention to plead guilty to count 1, absconding or forfeiting bond, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 4 years in prison and or a $5,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, and on that one, there was the agreement that though that could be sentenced consecutively to any time you serve on the other file, you would not receive consecutive sentencing on that. So you understand that as well.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Are you satisfied with Mr. Malaro on the advice that he's given you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And neither the prosecutor, the defendant, nor anyone on the defendant's behalf has discussed any possible sentence with the court. Is that correct, Mr. Malaro?
That is correct, Judge.
Is that correct, Mr. Sneed?
Yes, it is, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. And is that correct as far as you're aware, Mr. Almond?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, sir, if a guilty plea is accepted, there will be no trial. This means that you will be giving up rights you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. You have a right to a speedy public trial by jury. You may ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and court agree, you can have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have witnesses against you appear at your trial and to ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses you have for your defense to appear at the trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial, not to have your silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you want to testify. You understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable if you had been convicted at trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea will be by application for leave to appeal and not by right? Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. Do you have any questions about the rights that I've given to you?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Almond, on file number 21-20464FH, how do you wish to plead to the charge that on or about June 30 of 2021? So Mr. Sneed, it doesn't have the city, township, or village. This seems to be a recurring issue with whoever in your office is preparing these, and I'm wondering if maybe you could talk to them.
Understood, Judge.
Do you know, Mr. Almond, where you were when this domestic violence occurred? Was it in Adrian, or was it? I know your address is Detroit. I'm assuming it's not in Detroit because I don't have.
It was Fairlawn. It's Drexel Park, Adrian.
Madison Township, right?
Yeah. I mean, the address itself is Adrian, but it's Madison Police patrol that area, so I would assume that it would be Madison.
All right, Mr. Sneed, Madison Township.
Yes, Judge.
All right, so on that day, were you in Madison Township in the county of Lenawee?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and I'm using initials and trying not to use names. So were you in the company of someone with the initials of CG?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and is that someone you were dating or who lived in your household?
We were dating, yes.
Okay, and did you make some type of assault or assault and battery on her? Did you push her, pull her, knock her down, wrestle with her, punch her, kick her? What happened?
I pushed her.
Okay, and you didn't have permission to push her, is that correct?
No, Your Honor.
So, and that would qualify as an assault. Are you satisfied, Mr. Mr. Sneed?
I am, Judge. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, so. Oops, I kind of skipped ahead. So, on file number, 22-20827 FH, on November 29th of 21, were you in Madison Township in the county of Lenawee?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, you came in contact with Lieutenant Gentner, and he works for the Madison Township Police Department, is that correct?
Yes,
Now, you were interviewed by him, and at the time, did you commit the offense of lying to a peace officer
yes, Your Honor.
regarding a 4-year or more crime investigation? All right. And then on file, and you wish to enter a plea of guilty on that charge, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then let's skip to file number 22-20828 FH. Mr. Almond, how do you wish to plead to the charge that on or about January 6th of 22 in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee that you did commit the offense of absconding or forfeiting bond? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead guilty to any of these charges?
No, Your Honor.
You understand that by accept these pleas, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea. Do you understand that?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any promises or threats or inducements other than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead guilty? Mr. Malaro?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Sneed?
No, thank you.
So other than what's placed on the record, has your attorney promised you any particular sentence or estimate what your sentence will be?
No, Your Honor.
Is it your own choice to plead guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I kind of skipped ahead of myself, but on file number 21-20464 FH, Mr. Almond, that's the domestic violence. So we've already discussed this. So did you make an assault by pushing someone with the initial CG, who you had a dating relationship with?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and Mr. Sneed, you already testified on that one. Are you satisfied with that plea?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, sorry about that. And then let's go to 8-7. All right, so Mr. Almond, on file number 22-20827 FH, on November 29th of 2021, in Madison Township in the county of Lenawee, you had met with a Lieutenant Gentner. I guess he must work for Madison Township. I thought he was with the APD. Was he with the Adrian Police Department or Madison?
Madison.
He does both, I
Okay.
think, Judge.
Yeah, a lot of them do. Okay, so at that time, he was interviewing you about a criminal investigation. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and did you give false information to him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and okay. And the false information that you gave him involved a 4-year felony. Is that correct? That he was investigation or 4-year or more felony?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Sneed, are you satisfied on that one?
Yes, thank you, Judge.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Almond, last file. All right, so Mr. Almond, last file, on January 6th of 2022, you were supposed to appear in court for a pretrial conference on one of your other files. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you didn't show up for court that day, did you?
No.
Now, you weren't hospitalized or incarcerated, is that correct?
No, I was not.
You just chose not to come to court?
Honestly, I don't remember that day, but I imagine it was just not coming to court.
Okay, all right, all right, are you satisfied with that count, Mr. Sneed?
Yes, we are, Judge. Thank you.
All right, has the court complied with MCR 6.302 B, C, and D, Mr. Sneed?
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Malaro?
Yes, I believe the court has.
All right, I accept the pleas. They've been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of his rights. He does have competent counsel. This court has made no agreement regarding the possibility of a plea or possible sentence in this case with the prosecutor, the defense attorney, or anyone acting in the interest of either of them or the defendant. I'm going to refer this matter to the probation department for a pre-sentence investigation. Mr. Malaro, are you available for sentencing on December 29 at 8:15 in the morning?
I am, Judge.
All right, so we will set this for sentencing on December 29 at 8:15 in the morning. So, Mr. Almond, someone from the Michigan Department of Corrections is going to come meet with you. I don't know if they do it by video or in person. And they're going to set up a time to meet with you again, but you'll have a packet to fill out. When you meet with them, be truthful about your background, the events that occurred. They'll prepare a pre-sentence report, which Mr. Malaro will probably zoom in at the jail and meet with you before the day of sentencing to review. And then we will see you back here on December 29 at 8:15 for sentencing. All right, Mr. Almond?
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Almond. You have a good day.
Judge, is
Yes.
that via Zoom?
Oh, Mr. Almond, you do have the right to come to the courthouse and appear in person, or you have the right to Zoom in like you're doing today. Would you like to Zoom in?
Zoom will be fine.
Yeah, nobody wants to stay in that holding cell up here, so figured you wouldn't mind Zooming. All right, we'll see you back on that day, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. Malaro.
Thank you. Good luck. I'll see you on the 29th, man.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank
We'll see
you.
him before that when you review the PSI with him, Mr. Malaro.
You like milk?
I'm not gonna see him at Thanksgiving. I just wanted to give him some hope, Judge.
Okay. I thought you like served food over there on Thanksgiving as volunteer work.
Yeah.
No?
That's me.
All right, so Miss Underwood, you have Mr. Darrell.
Yes.
You have, who has Jamie Carden? Just-
That's George Lyons, I believe.
Well, we show.
He might have
I
waived
know.
arraignment.
And I believe that Jamie Carden may have been a conflict with our office, so it may have been a special PD appointed prior to Mr. Lyons.
No, it's.
Am I wrong, or maybe I'm probably wrong about that?
I have
Was
no idea.
Mr. Lyons appointed the special?
I mean, I know Mr. Lyons is special, but I don't know that we've used him as a special public defender, so let me look and see if I have an appearance in the file. Miss Adams, are you answer to request? We have order to reassign represented. Oh, George Lyons is this. Miss Adams, could you call Mr. Lyons' office?
Okay.
Because I have waived preliminary exam. He always usually files a waiver of prelim. Ma'am, what is your name?
Jamie Carden.
All right, could you go tell them we're gonna skip you and come back to you?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
If they're gonna come back. Yes.
So I have Quaylar, Daryl, and Orozco. I have, who represents Isaac Quaylar?
I do.
All right. Miss Adams, I do not show that Mr. Quaylar is in custody.
He is not in custody.
So Miss Underwood, I know he appeared on December 5 from the jail. And Miss Adams called and verified he wasn't in custody anymore, right?
I verified yesterday he wasn't in custody, Your Honor.
Was or was not?
Was not. And tried to phone him.
All right, so this is a violation of probation. Mr. Moore, I believe Mr. Stevenson is a probation officer. Is he in his office?
And who?
Isaac Santiago Quaylar.
Hold on one second.
I just want to know if he's had contact with them or,
Okay.
I think it's Chris Jones, Your Honor.
really? Okay. It says Mike Stevenson on the bottom. Okay. So then- let's see. Burgess, did Runner, wait, somebody might not be in jail. Jimmy Carden's in custody. Wheeler.
Judge,
Yes,
I have Mr. Lyons on the phone right now. He said he's gonna do waivers. You want me just to,
tell him to get it to us today.
did you hear that, Mr. Lyons? Can you get that to us today?
For my judge, I would do it right now.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, and then I have Mr. Murphy.
Do we need to put something,
Yes, Your Honor.
do we need to put something on the record about the waiver or anything?
All right, Mr. Orozco. I do not show he's in custody either. What's going on?
He's not in custody
Not showing on my jail list.
because he's supposed to be here. We have bond hearings this afternoon for pending cases because he has a pending R&O and retail fraud, I thought. I thought he was in custody. I have no idea if where he is, if he's not in custody.
Miss Adams, was he in custody the last time you saw him, Mr. Murphy?
No, Your Honor, but he got picked up on these new charges, retail fraud and R&O that are downstairs right now. I thought he was picked up on those.
Who are we talking about, Judge?
Mr. Orozco, he's not on my, Joel Jesus Orozco, he's not on my jail list.
So I looked up Quaylar.
Yes, ma'am.
There might be some kind of confusion. Mike Stevenson saw him and he said, it looks like he told Mr. Stevenson that his case was, his court was canceled. Today, that today's court was canceled.
Okay, so I'm not gonna issue, all right, so in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Isaac Santiago Cuellar, file number 19-19383 H. You know, this is a violation of probation. So I'm assuming Mr. Stevenson would know one way or the other what's going on with the case. So I'm gonna set it over to another day. Ms. Underwood, you said you're on this file?
I'm sorry?
You represent Mr. Cuellar?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Okay, he's reporting to Mr. Stevenson, but he thought today's day was dismissed. So I'm
And-
gonna set it over to another day and then
Thank you, Your Honor.
December, let's do December 14.
December 14th?
Yes, ma'am, 12/14 at 8:30. We'll send a notice out. And if you can just have Mr. Stevenson let him know too.
What was it, December what?
14 at 8:30.
So does anybody have a phone number for him?
You
I
know,
I have a phone number. I don't know
we're live.
whether,
I'm sure Mr. Stevenson has a phone number for him because he's reporting, right?
Yeah,
I have a phone number.
do
Well,
you?
we're live. I don't want the phone number. You can send it to her in a chat. if
Maybe
you'd like.
chat it to me?
Yes, I
Okay.
can chat it to you.
Okay,
All right, I have Brandon Darrell in custody and Jamie Carden, we're not gonna need anymore, because Mr. Lyons is filing a waiver. So in the matter of people of the state of Michigan versus Jamie Lee Carden, 22-21124 FC, 22-20792 FH, Mr. Lyons will file a waiver, if not, we'll schedule it. So that takes care of that one. I only have Mr. Daryl left, Joel Roscoe. Adjourned. All right, so Becky, I just need Mr. Daryl from the jail. Mr. Malaro, Mr. Murphy, let's see, why are you here? So Daryl is an arraignment, probation violation sentence. Jamie Carden, we adjourned. Taylor Terrio, we already did. So I believe Mr. Murphy and Mr. Malaro, I don't have anything else with you.
Well, again, Your Honor, I had, because from my notes, Mr. Roscoe, it says he was picked up on November 7th. Today, I have down as an arraignment because I don't think we ever got an arraignment on him for this case, that he never appeared. I had back on September 21st, he failed to appear and a bench warrant was issued. So, obviously, if the court doesn't have it on a docket today, then that's fine. I just wanted to make sure.
I have him on my, I have Mr. Roscoe for a BOP.
Yeah, Judge, I'm trying to figure that out. It shows a bench warrant in the computer.
Yeah,
And
I show I signed a bench warrant on November.
And
And it
Sue's
shows
notes,
he was taken into custody on November 6th.
right, Sue's notes say that was set for today, but I don't see anything.
I have a rearrangement on a contempt of court. Oh, it's a contempt of court for failure to appear. So I'm not gonna be able to do them this morning. So
Yeah, I was gonna have to ask for an adjournment either way, so,
why don't I set it over to next Wednesday?
yes, Your Honor. Again, I think that we're having something this afternoon for his pending cases, so.
All right, so I'll set it over. Miss Adams, can I use November 16? Is that, yeah, I'm gonna send it over to November 16.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. And then I guess I just need Mr. Zero.
What page is a Roscoe? I don't see it on the
I don't
docket.
see, Becky,
I don't
I
see it.
do not show Joelle. I have a file. No,
I don't see it.
I don't even have.
Judge,
I have
it looks like we saw him November 7th and set it for today, and I must not have added it to the docket.
Okay, because I have the file. So, yeah, it's file number 21-20645 at page. We'll just set that over to next Wednesday at 8:30 on Joel Roscoe. Mr. Malaro, I don't have anything else for you either.
Yeah, Judge, I can't leave until I've seen Mr. Moore's latest hairstyle, but now that I have, I can go now. Thank you.
Um,
Have a good day.
Thank you. I thought I'm gonna have to. Becky, did you call the jail on Daryl?
Looks like I'm the last of the Mohicans.
I'm calling.
You are, but I have to leave in 6 minutes. So.
I'm gonna need just a brief breakout with him, Your Honor, very brief.
Can you do, I have to. Are you available at 1:30, Miss Underwood?
Normally I would be, Your Honor, but I have another thing I have to do. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So you don't have any more pre-trials, just the VOP?
Deb,
Okay, I guess I'm done then.
Miss Adams, can I set Mr. Darrell over to 8 o'clock tomorrow morning?
One second.
Why?
I would zoom
He
in
said
for
1
that,
second,
Your
Judge.
Honor.
Yeah,
I'm supposed to be off, but I'm doing another sentencing too. So that would be okay with me.
it should be fine, Judge. You have a pretrial at 8 and another sentencing at 8 and then nothing till
All
10.
right. So I'm gonna set Brandon Edmund Darrell over to 8 AM tomorrow then. All right, will you let the jail know, Becky? All right,